Welcome to the M19 Rare Draft set review. We're going to start with the white cards. Yeah. So first of all, let's go over our rating system. So A is a snap pick. So the idea is that we're going to pick up this card anytime that we see it in the draft. Doesn't matter what colors we're in. Doesn't matter whether it helps our draft or not. We're just taking these because we think that the card is so good for constructed that we're just gonna take it. B is a strong consideration, so we'll be basically picking this card over everything but the very best draft cards. Really, in this set, the only these are pretty much snap picks as well, with the exception of maybe really the only card that we'll probably take over these is Murder. It's pretty much the only common in the set that's worth more than these strong considerations at this point. C is medium considerations. So these ones we'll pick these over regular playable cards and sort of like so these will be better than like your average. We'll take these over basically average cards for our deck in the draft. D, these are low consideration cards. These are cards that we'll be picking over sideboard cards mainly. And basically if we don't have anything left for the deck, which is our last is F. These are the things that we will pick just because there's nothing in the pack for us. Anyways, so let's go on to our first card. So the first card is a Johnny Adversary of Tyrants, 2 colorless, white for legendary Planeswalker Johnny. Starting loyalty of 4, +1. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. -2. Return target creature with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then -7, you get an emblem at the beginning of your end step. Create 3 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. So this is a very, very strong card. It's a snap pick. I think that there's multiple decks that want this. I think the Knights deck wants this card. I also believe that there might be a mono white deck that wants it. The Cats deck wants it. There's lots of spots in standard for this card. So I think that you should just, if you open it like pack 2 and you're not even in white, I think you just take it anyways, especially since it's mythic. The next card that we have is a Johnny's Last Stand. It's 2 colorless white for an enchantment that says whenever a creature or a planeswalker you control dies, you may sacrifice Johnny's Last Stand. If you do, create a 4/4 white avatar creature token with flying. When a spell or ability an opponent control causes you to discard this card, if you control a planes, create a 4/4 white avatar creature with token creature with flying. I think that this is it's going to be a D. It's a low consideration. It may be a useful sideboard card if your opponent's playing Nicol Bolas or some other discard effects, and you'll be able to, they play Nicol Bolas and then you get to discard this and you get a free white or 4/4 white avatar for it. But other than that corner case, so that is the corner case. But yeah, I don't think that it's a perfectly good draft card though. With that being said, it's going to be taken. It'll be taken pretty highly anyways. So I don't suspect that we're going to get past a lot of these anyways. But if you opened it pack 2 and it's your first pick, I don't see myself taking it in that situation if I'm not in white already. So our next card is Cleansing Nova, and that's 3 colorless white for a sorcery, and it says choose 1, destroy all creatures, or destroy all artifacts and enchantments. So this one I'm going to give like a C. It's sort of a medium consideration. This will be the go-to sweeper post-rotation. Although I think it could see some sideboard play immediately in the sideboard of white aggressive decks as a sideboard card against blue-white control, because most of blue-white controls, or there's a fair amount of blue-white control removal that is enchantment based. So sweeping up all of their enchantments would be interesting. I don't see myself playing more than 2 or 3 of these at most. So once I have my second copy, this goes from a medium consideration probably down to either a low consideration or a no consideration. It goes from a C down to a D or an F. But yeah, the first 2, I want this. Again, this is a card that's probably going to go pretty quick in the draft anyways. The white drafter absolutely will pick this up anyways. The next card is Isolate, which is a single white, and it's an instant, and it's exile targeted permanent with converted cost 1. And basically I've given this an F. We're really not, you're not taking this in draft at all anyways. Yeah, you might get this late though. But this is clearly a card that was built for Legacy or Modern. And it's even narrow in those circumstances. It may only be a sideboard card there. But yeah, it's something that you'll actually probably be able to pick this up late once there's nothing left in the packs for you. You can just pick this up if you really want it. But I don't see it seeing any standard competitive level play. Next is Lina, Selfless Champion, 4 colorless white. It's a legendary creature, human knight, for a 3/3. When Lina, Selfless Champion enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each non-token creature you control. Sacrifice Lina. Creatures you control with power less than Lina's power gain indestructible until end of turn. So I gave this a D for low consideration. It's not impossible that that this won't see play. Like it has a sort of a feeling of Elspeth Sun Champion with sort of feeling to it, but not quite as good as Elspeth was. But I could see it as a sideboard option for like a Knights deck or for a White Weenie deck as a finisher against control. Yeah, and it could see play more than likely not until rotation, and then again probably only as a 1 or a 2 of in the sideboard. So we're not gonna. And once you have 2 of these, I don't think you really need to go after the 3rd or 4th. So it goes from a D to an F once you have your first 2. Our next card is Leonin War Leader, which is 2 colorless white for a creature cat soldier. And it's a 4/4. Whenever Leonin War Leader attacks, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink that are tapped and attacking. So this card certainly has enough power. Like this, it's individually powerful enough. But I don't think that the cat deck is good enough. Might be wrong on this. Like this into the Regal, the 5-drop that gives other cats +1/+1 is a pretty big game. So if you want to be playing that deck, then I think that you should maybe value this even as like a C, as a C, but I'm personally giving this a D because I just don't think the cat deck's good enough, but I could be wrong on that. So low consideration. I'm only going to really take it if it's late in the draft, but the chances of that happening, like the chances of us being able to rare draft this is very, very low because this is an excellent limited card. And the white draft, it's going to be taken within the first handful of picks, or at least it should be. Our next card is Mentor of the Meek. It's 2 colorless and a white, creature human soldier. For a 2/2, whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. So this is a very powerful effect. I'm giving it a B for a strong consideration. So basically, the only other card that I would take over it is Murder, and only if I was in black already for Murder. Otherwise, I'm taking this. It plays well with History of Benalia, plays well with Knight of Plenty and Call of the Cavalry. Doesn't play very well, though, with Knight of Malice. Even though Knight of Malice is a 2/2, it makes it a 3/2, so you don't get the synergy there. I think that this could be the backbone of a mono white weenie, like a white weenie strategy. And if not right now, then post rotation. So yeah, this is definitely a B for rare drafting, and you're not going to get this late anyways. So it's because it's a powerful effect for limited as well. Our next card is Remorseful Cleric. It's 1 colorless and a white for a creature spirit cleric 2/1. It has flying, and also you can sacrifice Remorseful Cleric to exile all cards from target player's graveyard. So I believe that this will be a role player in the sideboards for White Weenie. If it gets there, I'm not sure if White Weenie is good enough, and I'm not sure if White Weenie even needs sideboard hate. So I'm putting this as a D, a low consideration. There is a chance, like I think that it will see play in sideboards at some point in standard. So I think that it's worth picking up because of that. But yeah, I'm not gonna ruin my draft over it though. I'm gonna probably gonna take this pretty late. It's not really good in limited either. The 1 toughness is a real handicap in this format, and so yeah, you might be able to pick this up late anyways. So yeah. Next card is Resplendent Angel. It's 1 colorless white creature angel for a 3/3 flying. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilists. For 3 white until end of turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink. So for me, this is, again, it's another B, strong consideration. This card is just plain old powerful. I don't think that actually the Angels deck is good enough right now. I don't think it has enough tools, but all the tools that it has are not going to be rotating come fall. So this is something that I'm interested in picking up. It's powerful and plays well with Shalai and Lyra. It's kind of hard to set up the 5 or more life a turn, but when you do, it's pretty much game over. Yeah, so it's obviously a strong card. I think that it is at some point going to become a player, and so I'm just going to snap this off if I open it up in, like, say, pack 2 and I'm not even in white. I mean, I'm still just going to pick this card. So our next card is Sun Cleanser. So colorless and a white creature human cleric. It's a 1/4. When Sun Cleanser enters the battlefield, choose one of, remove all counters from target creature. It can't have counters on it, put on it, for as long as Sun Cleanser remains on the battlefield. Or target opponent loses all counters. That player can't get counters for as long as Sun Cleanser remains on the battlefield. So Sun Cleanser is a D. It's a low consideration. It's a narrow sideboard card at best. It might be good against Grixis Energy if that becomes a thing, but I just don't see it playing a big role, and I'm not going to take it over even like I might. This might be one where I would take good sideboard cards even over it, and maybe it's closer to an F. Maybe this is like a D minus, but yeah, I'm not expecting to play a whole lot of this in standard. Our last card for white is Valiant Knight. So 3 white, 3 colorless and a white for a creature human knight. Other knights you control gets +1/+1. 3 white, 3 colorless white. Knights you control gain double strike until end of turn, and it's a 3/4. For me, this is a snap pick. I think that this card is what takes knights over the top from like tier 2 up to tier 1. I'm going to be brewing with this card, so I want to be picking this up. Hopefully we open it up in draft and we're able to use it. But yeah, this is a card that I'm gonna pick up as soon as I can. I don't think that it's gonna really get passed to you late anyways, because there is a few knights in the format, and a 3/4 for 4 is okay, and then something that can give itself, because it gives itself double strike as well. That's pretty big game. So I don't expect to be seeing these late. So we're going to have to rare draft them early, so to speak, if we want to get them. So this is the last card. Thank you for watching. We'll be releasing one of these a day. The next one that will be coming out is the M19 rare draft set review for blue cards. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll subscribe so that you get notified when the next one comes on.